Imagine with me for a moment that this globe represents the Earth. When an earthquake occurs, let's imagine for a moment that an earthquake occurs right here at the top. When an earthquake occurs, it creates disturbances which move through the interior of the Earth, seismic waves, and then appear at the surface to be detected by seismographs, an earthquake detector. So if you imagine that the earthquake, the shaking occurs here, these seismic waves will move through the Earth, and they'll be detected all over the Earth by seismograph stations. But there's a funny pattern in those places where the earthquakes are detected called a shadow zone. If you create the earthquake here, there's a band, kind of a band around the Earth, symmetrically located in the other hemisphere, the lower hemisphere, that goes around the Earth like this, in which you do not find the earthquake waves, the seismic waves, arriving to be detected, even though they're being detected in many other places around the Earth. And so we're trying to understand what is the significance of this shadow zone, as it's called, this band where earthquakes created up here, creating seismic waves up here, create waves that somehow don't make it down into this shadow zone. Well, let's imagine for a moment that the earthquake occurs not at the top, but over here on the other side, on my side of the globe, on this opposite side. Now, if that's the case, the earthquake over here would create a shadow zone, which is a band like this around the Earth, on this end that faces you that you see. Can we understand where that shadow zone comes from? Well, I'm going to turn this light on to represent an earthquake. And the light rays, as they go through the globe, represent the seismic waves traveling through the Earth. And then where you see the illuminated area on the other side, that represents the places where those waves are arriving and could be detected by a seismograph. If we put down into the Earth, into the interior of the Earth, this flask filled with water, down into the interior of the Earth, we'll see appear on the opposite side there facing you a shadow zone. A shadow zone. The shadow zone then is created by a sharp boundary that exists in the interior of the Earth. That shadow zone is created by a sharp boundary, some kind of very rapid transition between layers in the interior of the Earth, where you go from one kind of material in a very short distance to a different kind of material on the inside of it. And that creates a shadow zone. So this shadow zone is evidence for a sharp boundary that separates one kind of material on the interior of the Earth from another kind, that separates the material of the mantle from the material of the outer core.